Hello, hello. Welcome to our very first episode of On the DownLO. My name is Molly and
Mike.
yeah. So, first off, let's just talk about introductions first, okay? Maybe you how about you go first?
I'm Mike. Um, I am a barber. Um, like to do outdoor things. I don't know, just hang out with family, travel, stuff like that.
Yes. And I am Molly again. So I am a CEO and LinkedIn business coach, which essentially means that I work with businesses who have a LinkedIn presence to learn how to make money. So things like finding your ideal clients, attracting your ideal clients, and converting your community members, those followers and connections that you get on LinkedIn, into paying clients. And so that's what I do for my day to day business. And as Mike said, some of my personal hobbies, I love reading. I'm an avid historical fiction reader. Love reading historical fiction, especially Egyptian and biblical historical fiction. Those are my two favorite genres. And let me see here. What else do I like? I love coffee. Love coffee. You guys will see that I will always usually have a cup of coffee. And yeah, between the both of us, how many kids? Tell
So we
listeners
got
about our kids.
three. We got two boys and one girl.
What are their ages?
The girl is the youngest. So we got a 14-year-old, which is a headache right now. We got a 12-year-old,
Also a headache.
and we got a 9-year-old. So they're all a headache.
They're all headaches. Yes, they're all headaches. So, with that being said, one of the reasons why we decided to start this podcast, how about you tell them, like, how did this all come about?
So, honestly, I think a lot of it's just, like when we travel up north a lot. We do a lot of, me and my second son, Tyson, we go hunting a lot with grandpa up north, about 4.5 hours up north. And even on just when you're in the car driving, there's just things that you talk about to that you just don't talk about on a daily basis. Things come up, you wonder about things because you actually have time to actually think about, why does this happen? How things change throughout generations and how is it gonna look, you know, 20 years from now? You think this is still gonna happen? That's gonna happen? Like, you know, just the evolution of a lot of things. So we talk about a lot of things on those rides, especially the one we drove from here to California. That was a long drive.
Yeah, I would say that being stuck in the car with your significant other, right, opens up an opportunity to talk on a deeper level. And interestingly enough, even though you're an introvert, you actually like talking stuff like that, like different topics and stuff in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Now, before anybody even asks, we are Hmong American. Um, One of the things that we actually on my business podcast, A Tall Glass of Sass, which I have put the brakes on for now. It's just on pause. It's not like it's going anywhere. But we actually talked about being Hmong American, being first generation entrepreneurs, also first gen born Americans. We also talk about religion. We talk about, well, religion, yes, but I would say, like, wouldn't you say we talk more about spirituality than we do really about religion?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we just want y'all to know that if you guys are tuning in, you're probably going to hear a lot of things about um, just the way that we are raising our family, the way that we experience life. And I'm going to say it right now, okay? The things that I think Mike and I will talk about will be controversial. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we get it. It's just our personal opinion. It's our own POV. But I think that that's the reason why having a platform like this to start talking about it does allow for communication. I do agree that we can all tactfully agree to disagree. And so while we don't intend um on, of course, creating any kind of distance or hate or whatever, I think it's important. Mike and I, when we first talked about this, about transparency and just really having honest conversations with each other.
Yes.
Okay. What are we talking about today?
um, I mean, it's Valentine's weekend, right? So I don't know. We can talk about, like obviously, the love between us compared to our parents and see how different that has been, or like I said, the evolution of how things change and how like the the new divorced women's are called like balais now and shit like that. I mean that's true though. That's like what people call them now.
Yeah, but that's not true necessarily.
No, it's not true, but that's like what people say.
Yeah,
People
that yes. So let's back up before we go to the bundle side of things, okay? So, okay, what do you see? What do you see that's different from, let's say, our grandparents' generation and our parents' generation when it comes to love? Actually, let me say this. Do you think that marriage love is in marriage? Do you think that that's true?
yeah, it is true.
Is it true for our parents' generation?
I think maybe very little.
Why do you say that?
'Cause I don't know. I feel like they did at a point, and then it just like faded away, and they didn't know how to rekindle the respark the flame, or like I don't think they know each other's love language
Mm,
to help support that.
mm,
There's just things that like obviously they didn't, they weren't that much of an educational, things for them to go off of and things for them to learn about each other. But it was just, I like you, you like me, let's have a family and, kind of just go about that, right? Like, yeah, we got to make sure we got food on the table, make sure the house is paid for, and we're good. Kids will go to school and we're good.
You know what though? Okay. Now, mind you, if you guys are anything like us, oh, let's just share, okay? Let's just share our age so that in case people are wondering how old we are, how old are we?
We are 39.
We are turning the big 4-0 this year, y'all. Okay. So I'm older than Mike by, I don't know, how many months?
5 or 6 months.
Yeah, I'm a June baby. Mike is a November baby. Okay, so just let you guys know, we are totally elder millennial people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just going to share a little bit about my parents and the way that they met. Not necessarily the way they met, but like the age. So my parents got married like most, I think our parents got married really young. My mom had me when she was 15. Okay, so and I think my dad's 3 or 4 years older than that. But I think you're right. I think OK，民有you 民有啊，民有都民有广告是呢
Yep.
And I think that there's still somewhat, oh, this is a good part of us, the conversation too. Do you think that getting married at a young age in our culture right now is, I don't think is that common anymore. I don't think it's a popular practice anymore for us to like,
It's not.
我讨you，讨you，要呢，是说呢。
I mean, like, I have a lot of clients I cut that are Hmong, and like one thing is that like you talk to them about this stuff, like how old are you, and then they're like, yeah, I'm like 25, 26. And I'd be like, damn, when you get married, you got a girl yet? And they'll be like, nah, bro, I'm not ready for that yet. I want to do this, want to do. I say, hey, man, you're right though. I mean, I think as a younger generation realizes that maybe the early struggles of their parents that they want to do something different, or they want to, plan their marriage differently, or they probably better know when they're ready to take that next step. But I mean, nobody's really ever ready for marriage and having kids.
And you know what though? I think like back in Laos, right, the motherland, Technolotua, where you got married young so that you can you ipa min yo until ipa you pa no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that concept, especially us being first generation born Americans, Hmong Americans, it ain't like that no more. We're not muote like bet you or like bet you or nulin so it doesn't make sense for us to get married young and have a lot of kids, right? I agree. I don't see very many, and I feel like if they do and if they're getting married young, they at least graduated high school, like minimally that kind of thing before they go and like what's the
Plus, over there, I mean, what? You have a baby in a rice field. You ain't got to pay no damn motherfucking medical bills. Shit, you're good.
So is that what we got to do? They have another one?
Yeah, you can go find a rice field out here. Yeah.
No, yeah, we are good with that.
No, but yeah, it's very. A lot of my clients tell me that.
No, it's true. So going back to our parents' generation, I feel like love for them was number one. It was there. I do agree with you. I do think that people change. I think that when life gets hard, life is lifing, that they do, they get to a place where kids, life, work, all of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna share one thing specifically that when Mike and I got married. Now, Mike and I got married. Actually, I
20
think
we got married at what, 23?
yeah. I felt like we got married fairly young. Okay,
I feel
and
we
looking
were
back.
perfect.
Okay, so why? Why do you think? Why do you think that?
Because in like the stages of life, right? You were done with school. I had a good paying job. We were able to afford, like new cars and a nice apartment to live in with no worries. And
We didn't have a mortgage at that point.
yeah, I mean, we were living in an apartment, and I think that was we didn't really have anything in our way to, we just kept going. We just um and we started a family right after marriage.
But why did you want to start a family? Like, be real. Why did you?
Yeah. Because my boy got one of my guys I grew up with, his ass got, so he beat me to the having a kid thing. He had a baby girl, and then damn, I was like, damn man, like I'm like I'm excited. I'm like, fuck, I want to have me a motherfucking kid too. So I did. I was like, fuck this, I'm having me a motherfucking kid, and then all I wanted was that boy to look just like me and for my first kid to be a boy. And damn, like God answered my prayer. Like that boy looked identical to me. And not just that, but his due date was on my birthday. So he was supposed to have the same birthday. Like it was a carbon copy. It's copy and paste.
I think that Madden would say he is 2.0 version. He is a much better version than his dad. But no, for real. One of the things, side note, we should talk about is manifestation. I think that would be a really good episode to talk about. You legitimately manifested Madden into reality.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until just lately that we understood that, like, I'm a manifesting generator, right? And that's crazy that how things just happen when you really, really just manifest that into your life.
Yeah, but that's not for today's episode.
That's
so yeah, stay tuned. As you guys can tell, these are the things that Mike and I talk about, and that's the reason why. Side note, I say that religion is something that is important to us. We are Christian, and I would say that I think. Let me know if you would disagree, but I think we associate ourselves more with being spiritual people than we are religious people. Like, do not throw the Bible at me and tell me that this is how I should be living and like that's not how it is. Absolutely, we go to church, okay? Don't get that twisted, right? Like God and Jesus is a big part of our lives and our upbringing and how we integrate that into how we raise our family, and I was born and raised Christian. So it is very much a part of my childhood and my upbringing, all of that stuff. And we've come to a realization that, oh, that's another one. Talking about Hmong churches is going to be another episode that like we're going to have a conversation about that, okay? And we're just going to again, we're going to say it from our perspective, all right? But going back to this, we we had kids at a really I felt like we got married too young and we had kids too young. Now, did I agree to get married to you? Of course I did.
Hell yeah, you did.
Okay, like I get that. I do. Yes, and in case you guys didn't hear or don't know about our story, Mike Liche to haikuna, okay? So it's not like respectfully. I get that like elopement is a very common thing in our culture, and I'm not shitting on that at all. There's no shade. Everybody does marriage a little different, okay? However, looking back at it, I told Mike this. I said, my uncle, bless his heart, so sweet, pulled me to the side when Mike and, his family came and Liche to haikuna, right? And I remember him pulling me to the side and he's like, Mintai. Now, just so you guys know, okay, I am Mollie, okay? So my uncle pulled me to the side and he said, Mintai, onde ka yuo, bona boya mong tata le lai, okay? Yo ha da ka chin ya ha ka chi sa yuo no ke han jen jiao no gu, gu wo ka tu, gu yo ka tu lo no ke gu ma le ma ma ha da bo ta, be tun sai chi yuo, bo ka bo bai je. 實在下極勁啦。OK，估咗有牛角學估碌乾芒果，估碌估人菜，嗰啲又估一頓菜。個不如我女的大嘛，我有夢的大來，我去包個，別去包波。And I sure as hell was quick to say yes, but I should have listened to my uncle.
Whatever.
I should have listened to my. No. But I love you. I love you with every single being of my fiber. I love you for the good and the bad. I love you for your past, your present, and your future. And you know that. And I know that you know that. And the reason why I keep saying that I felt like we were doing it too, so especially having kids. Like maybe getting married was good, because I did. I graduated. I had a full-time job with benefits, all the things. Started my HR career, all of the things. So there was stability. There wasn't like, kuchitao kandeta, like, kuchitao mua, nuwa, like nothing like that. But I do feel like you pressured me into having this kid. And I
didn't pressure you. Lying ass.
No, listen, I remember, no, don't even lie. I remember saying to you, I said, do you even know what this is like to be having this kid? I said, are you sure you're ready to have this kid?
Well, yeah, at that time, you're going to say, yeah.
Okay.
But honestly, nobody's ever ready to have a kid. Nobody's ever ready to be a father because they don't know what's coming their way. Like, it's every day people are like, yeah, man, I can't wait for my kid. I'm like, okay, I mean.
Well, now you know.
Shit, you better not don't ask too soon because that baby come out.
You can't put him back, No, but it's not even that. Like, the reason why I said to Mike, are you sure you want to have this kid? Not because I didn't want to be a mom. That was like one of the most important things for me was I knew I wanted to be a mom. But do you remember me saying, like, don't you want to travel? Like, don't you want to just have it just you and me for a couple years before we bring kids? And
of course.
But then we didn't do it.
Seen that. We didn't do that, but we still got to do it.
Yeah, but
yeah, but that's just how it goes. That's what we chose.
Yeah, but okay. And another thing too about love is I feel like, okay, the one thing. So Mike is tutura, okay. I am the eldest daughter, okay, of my siblings. I have 4 younger siblings,
which is the best combination in the Hmong culture.
Yeah, because you're right. And you have to also admit that let's make this clear on record.
What?
When we got married, you decided we weren't going to move to go live with your parents. You wanted to stay here, right? So it wasn't like something where I was not intending for us to be in here in Wisconsin for however long that we were.
Well,
I
of
thought we were
course.
going to live with your parents, to be honest.
There was always that option, and we almost made that decision later in life, but just, cost of living was crazy in Colorado when we were looking, so it didn't make sense. No, we definitely had the option to go live with my parents. My parents would welcome us with open arms and open doors, but like I didn't want to be a burden on my parents. I didn't want to go. Like, yeah, it would have been great for them to, be able to watch my kids and for me to go out whenever, whatever, do whatever. But, I felt like we had to build our own family in our own home, and as we grew, you know, and I understood that, like, you hear about stories about fucking like nyas and their fucking mother-in-law, them motherfuckers be going at it and shit. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I am not dealing with this shit. So I said, no, I had to make sure that there was no, like, none of that shit was gonna happen. So I was like, I need my privacy. My wife needs her privacy. I would love to just, forget. Fuck, we just stay here, make it work, and just grow here because we still had your side to lean on and when we needed here. And,
yes, but now that you and I have been married for almost 20 years, I think that your mom.
Oh yeah, we would have been fine at my mom and dad's house, but I didn't know because the thing was like we had different beliefs. I'm not knocking on nobody belief. I grew up shaman for the longest, right? So me converting to Christianity is I know both sides and shit. I salute to both sides. It's just whatever is best for you and your family.
So on that note, though, I think this is a really good topic to talk about, which still is aligned with talking about love, right? Because I do think that okay. One thing about me is I am itu nya itu chai law. I embrace that. I know that. Okay. And here's the thing. One thing that I love most about Mike as my husband is that thankfully my mother-in-law and I get along really well. We have a really good relationship like that. So, hi mom, if you're watching. Hi, we miss you. Um and guess what? I have heard, through family, friends, other people, you know how it is, girls, okay? you tutsi. She support you na. Like, right? Like when his family decides that they're gonna go out and they're gonna gossip about you as a wife and a nya, and they're gonna say things that ain't true, or like that's the one thing I love most about you is you always come to my defense and you're always very fair and really just. And thankfully, it's not my in-laws, like my mother-in-law, my father-in-law who's ever said it. It's kind of through like extended family, you know what I mean? Which happens because let's be real, you Ying G always the easiest, not right, y'all? But one thing about my husband is he always comes to my defense. He will always back me up. He will be the first one to be like, so hi, and like he'll set the record straight. I think that is one of the things that as a Hmong husband, if you are not standing up for your wife, what the fuck are you doing? I'm calling you out right now because that is your wife. You chose to be with her. And sure, your wife isn't always, I'm not perfect, okay? I make mistakes, but I guarantee you this. If it's my fault, I know he's going to check me. And I know he's going to do it in a way where it's his responsibility and he puts everybody in check. Okay? So everybody stays in their own lane. And I do believe that there's a lot of Hmong husbands out there who have not got the memo. Y'all haven't taken care of your wives like that, and so I'm really lucky that I don't have anything to complain about with Mike on that. He will always come to my defense. He always, and again, for the record, ain't nobody perfect over here. That's not what I'm saying. But having a fair husband who stands up for you, because sometimes as a yeah, like lo hai you lo and lo no lo you do ji zhong hai da ga na, you know. So sometimes you feel alone and you feel attacked, you know, when you hear some of the things that they have said about you, you know. But at the end of the day, when your husband gets wind of it and he cuts it off, it's like, okay, I know I don't have to. I know I don't need to run my mouth because my husband got my back. So I feel like that's one of your ways that you tell me you love me.
Yes, I do. You know, I try to be fair because my mom is my mom, my wife is my wife. You know, so guys, this how you gotta do it. You tell your mom shut the fuck up, and then you tell your wife to shut the
That
fuck
is
up.
not what you do.
Tell them both shut the fuck up, right? And then you go talk to your mom. You gonna talk to your wife. Be like, babe, you know what, man? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
you don't do
but
that.
you
But you know what? Okay,
you didn't
Piggy.
need to do that with your mom and I though.
No, I didn't have to do that. That's because it was my decision early to not go live with them. That helped.
Maybe.
This was it. Distance makes the heart grow fonder or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is true.
That's true.
And then like piggyback off of like when I did come ask for her hand in marriage, we really never collided in a marriage or any kind of history between my clan and hers. So I understood the reason the reason why I did it was because I had to be the bridge to that foundation to have both families cross over.
I have to say though, it is so special because my parents and Mike's parents, my in-laws, are actually pretty close in age. And so they get along really well. You know the times where my dad be telling me, my dad be like, Mollie, 嗰啲住包啊，跟住有 text school, new by like when he goes hunting, he goes fishing and stuff. Like my father-in-law be texting my dad, they be having conversations. My father-in-law is really talented in Mukikai, right? So and my dad is good too, and so they like teach each other. They share each other's lupalo, like uno stuff like that, and I think it's so cool. We are really lucky that our parents get along with each other.
Yeah, and like you said, both we both get along with in-laws. So I see your brothers like my younger brothers, and it's it's easy that way.
Yeah, and to that point, that's the reason why when you're younger and you see how to you out there, you bongwa J, right? Which essentially means that you see this really good looking pigeon over here. He's got some really nice feathers. But you don't know how he be living because pigeons live in their own shit. Their house ain't the greatest. But I was actually really lucky because I love my sister-in-laws and especially Kutu Ninzana. So Ninza Nick, shout out to you. I think you don't think about this when you're younger and you first get married. But now that we're older, you get along with and you want that because even though like they do too, so there's something in common there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I could say the same because I mean, like I got a white brother-in-law and then yellow brother-in-law. I'm the only Hmong brother-in-law, so I'm fucked. Right? So I'm fucked. No, I'm just kidding. Those two guys are pretty supportive. They're pretty cool too. So.
With that being said, yes, my family is diverse with our spouses, and I do think that being here in America, being first generation born Hmong American has allowed our families when it comes to love and marriage to be more diverse. I do think that, I mean, like Yi Johnny is awesome. Okay. Like that's Mike's brother-in-law. Okay. El Salvadorian, like we get some good, ceviche. Oh my God.
Ceviche. Seafood.
Dude, so good.
They're in Utah, so
yeah. So I mean, like, I just think that to round out this episode, as you guys can see, this is really just Mike and I just talking and really sharing with you guys some of our thoughts and opinions about and our experiences of what it's like to be living our lives. And so if you guys find that this is interesting, we welcome you all to like and subscribe. We are only doing this on YouTube, so this is not like we're not going to be putting this on any Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anything like that. If you want to hear that, then you got to go to my podcast, A Tall Glass of Sass. But that's more of a business podcast. Anywho, yeah, we're going to be having these kinds of conversations all day, every day.
I agree.
All right. With
Yep.
that being said, we're out.